Now that I've completed my bachelor's degree, do I study or work? I'm certainly going to delay my unemployment and let's see what's the best option. Okay, if I'm going to study, do I do masters by coursework or research? I'm so confused. What's the difference actually? So now you have decided you want to delay unemployment and do masters after your bachelor's degree. However, now you're confused. What is the difference between masters by research and masters by coursework? Which is better and what you should do? So you are at the right place because I'm going to answer everything for you. Just make sure you watch until the end of the video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So when it comes to postgraduate studies, it has got its own attributes and uniqueness. So you should know if this is truly what you want. So just because you do not get work, that does not mean you have to do postgraduate studies. However, only if you have the passion and you know what your future goal is going to be like, then try to do postgraduate studies for a better salary when you start working later on, or for the specific role that you want to catch later on. So postgraduate studies certainly has got a plus point in certain aspects. So let's get straight into the video without wasting your time and my time. Postgraduate studies is not meant for everyone. I am emphasizing on that because many people has actually done or have gone halfway and then they just drop out because they just understand or realize that it is just not what they like doing, or it is just very stressful, or they are not self-reliant, meaning you can't be managing your own time, you can't set your own deadlines, and thus you procrastinate until it goes up to 5-6 years and then you're trying to just give up. So if you are a person who just know that corporate job is not yours, business is not yours, however you just like researching, and you also know that your future career requires postgraduate degree, then you can take it up. So what are the kind of careers? You certainly need masters or PhD. So most of lecturers, if you want to be a lecturer in public universities in Malaysia, you certainly need PhD. But if you want to be a lecturer in private university, then masters will do. And then if you want to get into international level, for an example, United Nations, most of them require postgraduate degree, such as masters or PhD. So you can actually do your own research on the kind of career you want to get into. Or if you want to do postdoctoral studies in which you get good salary at renowned universities, you can also go through masters, PhD, and grab the postdoctoral opportunity. Besides, there is also another thing that certainly need you to get into the research area, which is a researcher, a professional researcher in renowned companies. So for an example, later on you want to go into R&D departments of any big companies like the palm oil companies or some product companies, you certainly need to do thorough research, you need to have the skills. Thus, with master's degree or PhD, you will certainly be selected because they know that you actually have got papers published, and they know that you have research skills, and they know that your quality of researching will be way better than those who do not have postgraduate degree. So now, what is the advantage of pursuing postgraduate studies? So there are actually several advantages. First is that you get to be a student. This priority is actually great because you still get to claim discounts out there, although you're 30s or in your 40s or whatever. So the second thing is that you get extra chance to actually network, go to exhibitions, go for competitions, meet new people, grow your networking and also your social status. And this will be a very great addition to your CV because that is exactly what I did. So during my master's degree, while I was actually pursuing a master's in which I'm still a master's student, I'm about to complete in a while because I'm waiting for my viva. So what I actually do is I take up every opportunities that come in my way. I attend exhibitions, I've actually published a paper in conference, I've actually written technical paper, and now it's under review and so many things. So this is all a plus point being a research student because your CV will be way greater at the end of the day if and only if you are actively participating in so many extracurricular activities instead of just your research. The third advantage will certainly be that you will actually have extra time for you to research what is your actual ambition or what you are actually interested in getting. So for an example, some will actually be having the extra time to understand themselves better if research is truly the field they want to go into, if they want to be a professional researcher in certain companies, or they just want to have this degree for a higher pay later on in any corporate jobs and so on. So you can actually get to understand yourself better. So the fourth advantage is that, as I mentioned, when you get into any corporate world, later on your salary will be way higher than someone who just did his or her bachelor's degree. Why? It's because when you have master's degree or PhD, they know that you actually have got these extra skills, extra expertise, and they can never give you a market level for bachelor's degree range of salary for you because you have extra degree. So there is pros and cons here. One is that many companies would certainly they are willing to pay you high, recruit you, and let you do the job, let you do the researching, let you do this and that task because you have the certain skills. However, there are also some bosses who would not prefer to recruit you because they will need to pay you more. So what they do is they normally recruit someone who is of bachelor's degree or of lower education level, but then they're willing to provide training and pay them lesser than recruiting you. So that is actually something that you should consider. So what is the difference between postgraduate, or I would say master's degree, in research mode and mixed mode? So what's the difference between them? Okay, so for research mode, you normally have 1 to 3 years of research, particularly master's degree I'm talking about, and that entirely depends on your time management. If the experimentation or the title requires a lot of process and timing, so it can drag. Okay, so it all depends on your lab work and also the objectives of the research. So the time is a little, we can't really promise how long it will be. However, it is flexible. So you are your own boss. So you think this week you want to do your lab work and next week you're going to take a break, you can do so. So that is all about masters by research. Whereas masters by coursework normally acquires 1 to 2 years depending on the masters. For an example, masters in business administration called MBA only require 1 year of studies. So that is great, and you are not your own boss in this site because it is more structured in schedule. It is more like you attending the normal lectures during your bachelor's degree, doing exams, continuous assessments, and mini project. So another difference between these two is that masters by research is less structured in terms of educational flow. However, it requires thesis as the end product. So you need to publish a thesis, and some universities will require you to publish papers online in the journals. So like University Malaya requires 1 paper to be published for master's degree level to be able to graduate, and for PhD level you need 2 papers to be published in order to graduate. Whereas masters by coursework does not require thesis, and it is more structured in terms of the academic style. So here you only have to do mini project and then a small reporting, more like a final year project report, and you submit and you get marked. So that's another difference. Masters by research also, they focus a lot on research skill and thesis. So you need to be able to excel in this too. So these are your 2 main components in masters by research. Our masters by coursework, you're actually focusing more on the coursework and also the practical skills. So that's why you need to conduct this mini project and get this reporting and so on. So these are 2 different things that you're focusing on, and that is why if you want to get into a field where you want to research, you should take masters by research, because the weightage in terms of research and thesis and paper publication is higher here. Thus you will be easily selected by the companies as compared to when you actually just go for masters by coursework, because here does not really show your how critical you are in writing papers, how critical you are in researching and so on. So you should know, if you want to be a lecturer, if you want to go into research field, masters by research is what you should take. Masters by research requires bachelor's degree or master's degree in order for you to be eligible to do this course, and the fees is relatively lower compared to masters by coursework, as what I realized from system. How I do not know about other university. You actually require a bachelor's degree in order to get into masters by coursework. And now you are thinking that I want to graduate on time and I don't want to have this doubts if whether I'll be able to finish in 2 years or 3 years of my education, and you just want to just get a postgraduate degree and get into corporate world and earn money. So then you have to go for masters by coursework because that is ideal for you. You see, the schedule is more structured. You just have to do mini project, publish, and you know that you are going to graduate on time, and you can straight get a higher salary the moment you get into corporate job. However, if you know that you want to be a professional researcher, as mentioned earlier, that's masters by research. So do not confuse between these two. And I also know some people who just go for masters by research because it is relatively cheaper, but then they end up suffering and just giving up. So do not do that. Understand yourself better, and then you can differentiate which is better for you. So in masters in research, you will certainly be working very closely with your supervisors. Thus, make sure your supervisors are friendly, they are actually dedicated in making sure their students are actually well handled, because there are some supervisors who just take you for the title or the grant. They want you to research on the topic under masters by research mode, and then they just neglect you. They just don't follow up with your progress, and many students have felt abandoned, mentally ill, and they just don't have support because many researchers normally fly around. They get international offers and grants and scholarships. So when you're out of your country doing research all by yourself without guidance and motivation from supervisor, many people just quit. So this happens a lot. So just be very sure what you really want, and if masters by research is perfect, then yes, you can go for it. And the plus point about masters by research is that you can do PhD easier with masters by research degree. Yes. So PhD is all about thorough researching and in-depth researching. Thus, with the Masters of Research certificate, people would actually consider you into giving you the PhD title way easier compared to when you have Masters by coursework degree. And another thing is that Masters by research, although it may take more time, that's normally because students are actually more active in dealing with so many things. For an example, projects, exhibitions, and so on, as I mentioned, because I have joined multiple programs and I have built lots of networks, and I've gotten a lot of company name cards through all these exhibitions that my supervisor and my team actually establish at certain booths. So this way I actually got some idea, okay, so this is the kind of person I'm going to work with. So since my research was on palm oil concrete, so I got to deal with many palm oil bosses and companies that came to our booth and actually got their contact, and from here I can actually have extra time to myself to identify which company suits me the best. So that's another plus point about masters by research. So you really have to be close to your supervisor, just so your supervisor will give you these offers. But there are also some supervisors who are just not active and they are just not getting their students out there involved in programs. So that will not be an excuse. You can still join through programs online. Okay, you can actually apply to any other programs and try your luck. Who knows, because I've actually joined programs organized under my supervisor and also programs just out of my university, just individually being a Malaysian delegate, joining all these international programs. So that has given me 2 full-time jobs even before I graduate from my master's degree, and that I will actually give more tips. If you want to know more about it, certainly do comment down here, just so I will actually come back to you on that with another YouTube video. And as for now, I really hope that you guys can actually differentiate if you want to do masters by research or masters by coursework. What are the differences you know now, and you also really have to know about yourself and what you really want to get into, just so you can decide if you want to go for masters by research or masters by coursework. Understand, babies? So overall, I can say that if you want to decide between research or coursework mode, you just have to know this acronym PIG. Yeah, it says PIG, but that's just something I created, in which you have to identify through these 3 things. First is your passion. Are you passionate to do research? Are you passionate on more of exam structured projects and so on? So if you're more into research, you have to do masters by research. But if you're more into exams, continuous assessment, mini projects, then you can certainly go into masters by coursework. I stands for interest. Are you interested to actually work independently with your own flexible schedule? You don't have to attend classes, you can just set your own timing. Okay, then masters by research is yours. But if you are interested in structured way of studying in which there are classes to attend and so on, which is just the same as bachelor's degree and so on, then you can certainly go for master's by coursework. Thirdly is goal. So what is the kind of career you want to get into? Do you want to get into academia or being a professional researcher or get into United Nations and so on? Then you certainly require postgraduate degree. By research will be a plus point. However, if you want to get into corporate world and you just want higher starting pay compared to your friends who just graduated with bachelor's degree, and then you can certainly go for masters by coursework, because you know that you're going to graduate on time within 1 or 2 years as standardized, and you're going to get into the working world. So what's the big deal here? So it's very easy to differentiate what you really want. Now I really hope you're actually able to differentiate between these two main confusion, which I actually had before, and I was like, okay, which is something that I want to get into, but now I really wish I could share everything to you guys. So if any other question, you can just comment down there and I'll certainly answer you all. So do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment what you want to see next. Thank you, love you all, bye bye, take care.